September 3rd, 1971. Phoenix, Arizona. The ceiling fan spins lazily above the Langley family's dining table, casting long shadows across a half-eaten dinner. Roast chicken, green beans, buttered rolls. A child's blue cup lies tipped over, milk soaking into a crayon-scrawled placemat. In the living room, a wind-up toy dog spins silently, its mechanical barks long dead. The front door gapes open, letting in the desert night. Clara's purse sits untouched on the counter. Edward's cracked wristwatch rests on the nightstand. And beneath the curtains, a Polaroid camera hums with a secret, a sealed film cartridge, marked "Do Not Develop." 52 years later, Clare Row buys that camera at an estate sale. Her small decision to press the shutter will unravel a nightmare no one was meant to see. Phoenix in 1971 was a city of wide skies and tight-knit neighborhoods, where porch lights stayed on and kids played until dusk. The Langleys, Edward, Clara, Sammy, and Beth, lived at 428 Sycamore Street, a modest single-story home with a sagging porch and a creaky swing set. Edward, a lineman at the Salt River Project, woke before dawn to keep the city's power running. Clara, a part-time church secretary, baked pies for neighbors. Sammy, 7, loved comic books. Beth, 5, drew daisies on everything. They were ordinary, loved, unremarkable, until they weren't. On September 3rd, 1971, they vanished mid-meal, leaving dinner on the table. The front door open and their terrier, Mags, whining at the threshold. Clara's sister, Ellen, found the house the next morning. It was like they stepped out for a second, she told police, her voice breaking the report. The car was in the driveway, keys in the ignition, beds were unmade, toothbrushes damp. A Polaroid land camera, Model 210, sat under the living room curtains, its lens smudged, flashbulb spent. No blood, no struggle, no note, just a house frozen in time. The Phoenix PD launched a search within hours. Dogs scoured the desert, helicopters buzzed overhead, and neighbors canvassed every street. "I saw Edward watering the lawn at 6 p.m., said Thomas Bell, a 10-year-old neighbor. By 8, the lights were on, but no one answered the door. Why didn't anyone call the police that night? The case exploded across headlines. Family vanishes mid-dinner. Theories multiplied like weeds. Occult abduction, fueled by rumors of a strange group in the desert. Carbon monoxide poisoning, though the house tested clean. Some whispered Edward snapped, killed his family, and fled, but no body surfaced. Psychics mailed visions from across the country, claiming the Langleys were alive in Mexico or dead in a ravine. The Polaroid camera was logged as evidence, its film compartment reportedly empty, blank due to light exposure, Detective Vernon Dreyfus wrote in his report. But was it blank, or was someone hiding what it held? The investigation stalled by winter. Leads dried up, reporters moved on, and the Langley house became a ghost story, its warmth leached away by unanswered questions. In 1981, the house was sold through a trust, Desert Willow Holdings, linked to an R. Dreyfus, Vernon's brother, Row, a name that barely registered then. The new owners gutted it, stripping wallpaper and painting over Beth's daisy-covered nursery. Renters complained of cold spots, of footsteps at night. By 2005, it was a foreclosure, its contents dumped at an estate sale in 2023. That's where Clare Row, a 29-year-old freelance photographer, stepped in. Claire wasn't chasing mysteries. She was chasing nostalgia. My mom used to carry a Polaroid on road trips, she says. I'd buy old cameras to feel close to her. At the sale, she found the Langley's camera in a milk crate, its cartridge sealed with yellow tape and a faded warning. Do not develop. Why would someone seal film they didn't want seen? Claire paid $5, took it home, and broke the tape. That night, in her small Phoenix apartment, Claire cleaned the camera, replaced its batteries, and loaded the cartridge. The first 2 photos were black, expired or overexposed. The third stopped her cold. It showed the Langley dining room. For plates, roast chicken, a tipped blue cup. But in the corner, a hand gripped the table, white-knuckled, desperate. It wasn't posed, Claire says. It was like someone was holding on for dear life. The 4th photo showed a hallway, yellow walls. Family portraits ask you, taken at an odd angle, as if in a rush. The fifth was the worst. An empty dining room, chairs overturned, a child silhouette in the doorway, and a shadow behind them. Tall, angular, wrong. Claire's heart raced. I knew the Langley case from a podcast, she says. This was their house. These were their last moments. Claire dove into research, scouring Echo Code files, a true crime archive. The 1971 police photos matched her Polaroid. Same table, same light fixture. But the police report claimed the camera's film was blank. Why lie? She called Dominic Tran, a forensic technician friend from a Flagstaff documentary shoot. Run the name Raul Dreyfus, she said. Dominic found a hit. Raul, trustee of Desert Willow Holdings, owned the Langley house post-disappearance. Vernon, the lead detective, had signed off on the blank film. Same last name, Dominic said. Small department. Easy to bury evidence. Claire stared at the child silhouette. Was this Beth or Sammy? And who was the shadow behind them? The next day, Claire visited the Phoenix Public Records office, pulling microfilm on case 71 to 9204. She found a discrepancy. The police photo of the dining room cropped out the corner, where her Polaroid showed the gripping hand. Redacted lines in Vernon's report hinted at suppressed evidence. Someone didn't want this seen, Claire told Dominic over the phone. The film wasn't blank, it was hidden. Dominic sent her Vernon's signature, a looping scrawl that felt too deliberate. Claire kept digging, posting anonymously on a cold case forum. Anyone know Vernon Dreyfus? Langley case, 1971. A user, Eyes Open 1976, replied, I knew the Langleys. Vernon was dirty. Be careful. People who dig disappear. Who was protecting what? And why was Claire's skin crawling? Claire couldn't sleep. The Polaroid sat in archival sleeves on her kitchen table, their images burning into her mind. The child in the doorway, the shadow behind them. It felt like the house was watching her back. She drove to 428 Sycamore Street, parking 2 blocks away. The house looked tired, its paint chipped, its lawn dead. A for sale sign hung crookedly, vines choking the fence. Claire shot exterior photos, her camera clicking in the silence. The front window's curtain twitched. It wasn't the wind, she says. I felt eyes. She slipped through the side gate, finding an unlocked window. Inside, the air was cold, heavy with dust and something faintly organic. The dining room matched her Polaroid, down to the faded rectangle where the table once stood. In the hallway, Claire found the oval mirror from the fourth photo. She knocked hollow. A seam ran along its edge. She pressed, and a panel popped open, revealing a crawl space. It was like the house had a secret vein, she says. Claire crawled in, her flashlight catching insulation and beams. 6 feet in, she found a cot, a torn comic book, a water bottle, and a Polaroid face down. It showed Beth Langley, crying, hands bound, dated September 1971. On the back, in faded ink, she still cries, but not for long. Claire's breath caught. Then she heard it, breathing not hers, from deeper in the tunnel. She scrambled out, heart pounding, and fled the house. What was still living in those walls? Claire called Thomas Bell, the neighbor from 1971, now 62, who'd seen a man at the Langley's slider door that night. They met at June's Breakfast House, a diner off Interstate 17. Thomas looked weathered, his eyes wary. I was 10, he said, sipping coffee. I saw a man tall, not Edward, moving like he didn't belong. I told the police, but Vernon Dreyfus patted my head, said I was imagining things. Claire showed him the Polaroids. Thomas froze at the 5th photo. That's not Edward, he said, pointing to the shadow. That's the man I saw. He tapped a mirror in the hallway shot. There's a crawl space behind it. The house is full of them, built cheap in the 50s. Was someone hiding there the night the Langleys vanished? Claire and Thomas returned to Sycamore Street, armed with a crowbar and a Geiger counter for electrical interference. They entered through the same window, the house colder now, the air thicker. In the crawl space, they found boxes, dozens of film cartridges labeled Hallway, 1971, Girl in Blue, 1972. Watcher and Mirror, 1979. Another box held developed Polaroids. Clara zip-tied, Sammy glassy-eyed. Beth posed like a doll. One showed all 4 Langleys, dated April 1972, 7 months after their disappearance. "They were alive," Claire whispered. He kept them. A third box held audio tapes. Beth learns a mirror game. Clara cries again. Claire's stomach twisted. Who recorded this? And why? In the garage, they found a false wall. Behind it, a tripod-mounted camera, its red light blinking, recording. "Someone's been here," Thomas said. Claire touched the button, stopping the footage. The battery was fresh. They fled, the house's silence chasing them. Back home, Claire reviewed the camera's memory card. It showed her crawling through the tunnel, then her and Thomas in the crawl space. A file from 3 weeks earlier showed a blonde woman live streaming, then sitting motionless, edited to hide 6 minutes. Another showed the hallway mirror at 2 a.m., hands pressing against the glass from behind. Claire's blood ran cold. "The house isn't empty," she told Thomas. "Someone's still watching." But who? And how long had they been there? Claire posted again on the forum, sharing a blur hallway Polaroid. "We see you now." A reply from Shuttered Eyes 1973 came hours later. "Go back to the cellar. Behind the water line, one last row remains." Claire's heart raced. Whoever this was knew details she hadn't shared. Was it a lead or a trap? She and Thomas returned at dawn, finding a cloth bundle in the cellar, a film roll, a cracked locket, a burned photo of a boy's shoe by a fireplace, and a note in Clara's handwriting. "He makes us pose. Find Beth." Claire's hand shook. Beth had survived, but for how long? And where was she now? Claire drove to Dominic's lab in Flagstaff, the film roll in an archival case. In a darkroom, she developed it. The first photo showed Beth, older, chained by the ankle, standing by a fireplace. The second showed her at a table, a Polaroid camera in front of her, eyes vacant. The third showed a man's back, shelved behind him stacked with IDs. When he stoned Charlotte Lee, names of missing girls. The last photo was Claire herself, taken 2 days ago outside a grocery store. "He's watching me," she told Dominic. And Beth's daughter is in that house. Facial matching linked the girl Claire saw in a window to Beth. "She's alive," Claire said, "raised in captivity." Claire and Thomas returned to Sycamore Street, entering at dusk. The hallway light was on, new. Claire touched the mirror. A small hand pressed back. "I'm Claire," she whispered. "We know what happened." A girl 11 with Beth's eyes appeared in the reflection, mouthing, "He's still here." The panel opened to a cellar staircase. Downstairs, they found a lived-in space, a mattress, books, drawings of Beth, Clara, a man with a camera. Footsteps sounded above. A man's voice, calm, cold. "You steal what isn't yours. Beth taught me to spot people like you." Claire recorded it, her heart hammering. "She's mine," he said. A door slammed. Silence. They found a trap door under the mattress, a tunnel leading to an alley. They escaped, Claire clutching the drawings. Back home, she filed an anonymous report with Prescott PD. Child in danger, 428 Sycamore. By noon, police swarmed the house. Claire watched from a hilltop as they brought out a girl, wrapped in a blanket, clutching a stuffed rabbit. She looked like Beth, Claire told Thomas. The police found a bunker, rooms, cameras, chains, a burned mattress, bloodstains. The girl, nonverbal, was Beth's daughter, raised in the walls. Claire met Agent Miriam Calder, a federal profiler. This wasn't just Vernon Dreyfus, Calder said. Someone continued his work. A network. Claire shared the IDs, missing girls from decades. Beth cared for them, Calder said. Claire returned to the house with police, finding negatives behind a cellar cabinet. One showed Beth dead, violets on her chest, captioned Final Exhibit. Claire's hand shook. The girl, now called Lily, was safe, drawing in therapy. But the man was gone, his network untraced. The Langley house stands empty, its secrets exposed but not resolved. Beth's daughter, Lily, draws in color now. her silence giving way to sketches of windows and sunlight. Claire's podcast, The House and the Photograph, told their story, sparking a million listeners to ask, who was a man? How many others did he take? The negatives revealed names: Wendy, Charlotte, Leah, girls lost to a hidden system. A VHS tape arrived, showing another victim, another house. Claire watches back, knowing the truth isn't done. Somewhere, a camera is still rolling. Will you see the next frame?